Hey, welcome to the Triple Two PC Podcast, coming to you straight out of the DFW Metroplex. I'm Kev, he's Keith, and this is the Triple Two PC.
Yes. I'm so happy to be back, Keith, and I know you are too, my brother. How are you? What's going on?
Man, I'm glad to be back too, man. We hadn't been on since our little pause.
Hiatus. Yeah.
Yeah, hiatus, if you will. Yeah, I like that word, man, for the holidays.
Yeah, but it's been great though, man. A lot of things have been accomplished, and we're just so happy to be back on air. And we hope that wherever you're hearing us, that you have come back and successfully connected to the 222 PC podcast.
No
Hey,
doubt.
I got something to start us out with. I'm gonna start us out with
Okay.
something. I'm gonna call it the question of the day. You ready, my brother?
Ready.
Why is tuna fish called tuna fish?
It's kind of redundant, right?
Yeah, you would think.
It's kind of like me being in the field I'm in, a PDF. Why do they call it a PDF document when the D in the PDF is for document?
Document. Yeah,
Just something to make you say, right?
right. Yeah, definitely.
Don't get me started, man, because I'll take you down to, you drive on a parkway and park on a driveway, And don't you know me? I'm a useless vault, a vault of useless information.
No doubt. But that's a good thing to have, right? Because you got a lot of information to pull from, right? And it just depends on who the information is for. It might not be necessarily useless.
Well, one man's trash,
There we go.
dot.
Right.
Points
Today-
of ellipsis.
So today, man, I wanted to get into something that's kind of deep, kind of heavy, and I know we only got 15 minutes, but I want to touch on it a little bit. Let's just see what we can, scratch on the surface of this, right?
Cool.
And I coined it the Indoctrination of Distractions. And I want to look at it today from the term or the point of, or from the viewpoint of human beings.
Okay.
So when I think about it, I'm thinking about the first things, the distractions of appearance. What are your thoughts?
Don't judge the book by its cover. The skin I'm in. Shout out to Cameo. But that's the first thing I think of. Just the separation just from the skin. That's the exterior that everybody seems to be judging or discriminating or whatever against. So appearance, that's my first thought. Skin.
Yeah.
And that right there in itself is an indoctrination.
Absolutely. But then, I started thinking about it, a little deeper, and trying to, get where that basis may come from, right? But it's also, linked directly to the power of the mind.
Right. So true.
And the mind being powerful enough to influence minds that are outside of itself.
Well, that's just the thing. You just hit the nail on the head. To be able to have any kind of influence on an external person, a different person, it still has to be some type of reflection from within yourself first. And I think that's what most people aren't getting. Like I was telling this brother, man, hey man, I'm gonna give you some game. This free game, my G. If you want to change something now, the reason I'm telling you this is because I found this out myself.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to change something between a dynamic between you and someone else, regardless of the relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, friend, whatever, people always tend, or the natural thing to do is to look at the external thing that you're trying to make a change with and tell them, yeah, I see what you need to do. I see it. I see where you need to change. And I realized something, man. In that same dynamic, if the person that wants someone else to change changes something for themselves in that situation that they're trying to change with the other person, it literally forces the other person to change because they can no longer do the thing that they were doing if you're no longer allowing it or giving it an audience. Just thought
Wow.
I'd put that
I
in there,
like
man.
that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
like
man,
that.
because it's self, it takes strength, man, because it's a self thing. It has nothing to do with anyone else, as far as the doing of it. And I fancy myself. That's one thing that made me more of a manly man is when I mastered that. And I say mastered, but I'm still working on it. But I know it works, so that's what I try to implement now. And I'm not 100%, but if I shoot for the stars and fall short, I'm
Hey,
still in
you
the
you
skies.
still up there, my brother. Still up
Yeah,
there.
man. But I
Yeah.
digress now.
So, and it's crazy, right? Because the true wow, this gets kind of deep. So here we go. Here we go. So for a mind, right, to gain true power, right, you have to do it through influence of other minds. And then to be the truly powerful, you have to make the minds forget it's even yours.
Mm, that kind of goes to the whole principle of there's something bigger than you, right? That you have to believe in something type of thing, right?
Yeah.
And then this something in this particular
And,
case is yourself.
yeah. But how does a mind do it? It has to make the minds that it controls now focus on something else. So now let's get them focused on this distractions
There
throughout the
you go.
world. The
Distractions,
distractions. That's the indoctrination of the distractions.
the construct. And what do we mean by construct? The things you see around you,
Yeah.
the influences you have around you, the thoughts that you think you have to do. And what I mean by that is this, and everybody says this and knows this person, but nobody knows who this person is. When we say, they said, do this. Well, they say, man, who is they?
Got another one, my brother. Let's go. Let's go.
That's indoctrination, correct?
Yes.
To the point we don't even know who they is, but we all say something about they. We all have something that we do in our real life because they. Man, that's cold.
And then and
That's in,
then and
that's
then the
indoctrination.
thing and then the thing for people to get out of this, I'm hoping, and understand out of this is, hey man, all these distractions and these prejudices and these biases and all these things that you have dwelling inside you that was put in you, that you was taught, even with the education system, that's what's stopping you from becoming who you really supposed to be.
Using.
Now I'm gonna let that just sink in for a minute.
Say it one more time, man.
That's what's stopping you from becoming who you are truly supposed to be. Your focus on your prejudices and your biases and how you formulate how you think.
Man, you just made me think about my grandmama, man. Man, unrest in peace, man. That energy was so profound in my life. She said it, man. We were literally sitting on the porch. I used to hang out with my grandmother a lot, man, on the porch, bro. And she would just
Mm-hmm.
say things like, now you see that right there? I'd be like, what? It may be two little boys playing, right?
Yep.
Now, these two little boys are in the street playing, and there's a car coming. Now, these little boys run out the street, right? Like you're taught, right? When the car's coming, right?
Mm-hmm.
They go to the curb, but one of them waits for the car to come almost up and dashes in front of it across the street. Now, that little boy made a choice. But my grandmother looked at me, man, and I'll never forget it. And I don't even know how much pertinent this is right now, but this is what my grandmother told me. You see that little boy right there, probably age 6 or 7? He'll be in the penitentiary by the time he's 18.
Hmm.
And guess what? He was in the penitentiary at 18.
Yep.
And that just goes to thyself.
Yep.
What is thyself doing? Which one of yourselves is leading you? Your
Yep.
higher self or your lower self? And to bring it back around 360, if you're letting your lower self lead you and dictate what you do, then you are letting the indoctrination rule.
Is that what we're trying to do, people?
That's where we at now. That's how we doing it. We thinking with that second brain in our stomach. Yeah, that one in your stomach. Yeah, it's got axons and dendrites and all of that synapses too.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, but that's so deep, and I won't even get into it. But just know you have two brains. And now that I've said that, y'all think about which one that you're letting rule, your higher self or your lower self.
Right.
Because indoctrination, it only does what it's intended to do.
So
And what is
people,
that?
yeah,
Keep
yeah,
you from the truth.
yeah,
Keep you from the truth, which of yourself. See,
absolutely.
if you knew yourself, then you know your value. And if you know your value, you don't just settle.
And I feel the vibration, brother. You know why I said it? Because I was going to interrupt a second ago, but you actually said exactly what I was just about to say.
And what's that?
It's an examination of self.
There it is. That's too easy, brother. Michael Jackson said it, man in the mirror. He wasn't talking about his friend, I don't think. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Follow your heart. Can we talk about that for 1 second?
Sure. Let's go in.
All right. Follow your heart. Jesus Christ himself said, I want you to love me. And everybody thought he was talking about that muscle with the feeling and the eros, and the agape love, and the starj love. That is not what he was talking about. He was talking about your mind. He said, I want you to just love me. That means to obey. And he didn't want you to obey your heart. He wanted you to obey instruction because he knew the heart is a very fickle thing.
Uh-oh, hold on. Say it again.
I said the heart is a very fickle thing. You want to hear it again? I said the heart is such a fickle thing because you're only supposed to believe what is it? Half of what you hear and less of what you see.
Come on now.
You want a good example? Three's Company. A lot of the crowd might not even know, but y'all go into the archives of Google and go YouTube and look up Three's Company. Somebody was ear hustling or eavesdropping, heard something, built a narrative and ran with it, and
And
then found
ran
out
with it.
they heard what they heard, but they didn't hear what they were supposed to hear.
They
They
had
heard,
seasons of
yes, man.
shows on that.
Man, I'm telling you, you know why? Because it's real.
It's real.
People
It
build narratives.
resonates.
Man, you'd be surprised how many people say, you know what? I think this, so I'm going to act on it. Now, think about that for a second, people. I think this. I think it. It's just a thought, but I go make it real in real life. Walk it out, step it out, talk it out, think it out. And watch this. It wasn't even real.
Hey, I got a
But
question for him, Keith.
go.
Who's in charge of you?
Come on, man. That one too easy, ain't it?
Who's in charge of
Because
you?
man, that is so actually that's really a heavy duty question because um basically or fundamentally I'm in charge of me. But
I am. But are you? I am.
I am in charge of me. Ooh, I like that. So, getting to what I was saying, where am I getting my instruction? Where am I getting my counsel? Am I depending on my higher self or am I depending on my lower self?
Well, people, that's a lot of things to think about.
It
And
all goes back to I am.
and if you don't know what we're talking about, I would suggest you do a deep self-examination. Find you a spot. Get by yourself. Get alone if you need to, but just go within. Get rid of all of the distractions. which is a part of the title of our show today, The Indoctrination of Distractions. And this is the Triple Two PC. I am Kevin.
And I'm Keith.
And we will see you next time.
So make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Peace.
Peace.